All right, everyone. Happy Monday. We're back again. This is episode, I think, 109.
Okay. Getting up there.
Yeah, we're getting old. 109. So today we're talking about customer experience.
Good topic.
Yeah, good topic. You were frustrated recently when we were recording or before we hit record one day or something, and we were talking about how this is a service industry, whether you like it or not, and it's turned into a lot of me,
all about me.
Yeah, from the service provider. And there's not anything inherently wrong with that if you can somehow wrap your mind around it's still a service-based industry.
Yeah, it's all about the client, not you. You can sprinkle in you. Don't get me wrong.
You need to.
Yeah,
you need to sprinkle in you. You need to be different.
Don't forget that the client is in your chair paying for service. So it is their time.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people that'll say like things like my clients don't come to me for a service, they come to me for my art. I don't want to chuckle out loud at people, but like you just did. But stop it.
Yeah.
If you've ever had a walk-in, a last-minute email, a last-minute whatever, these people don't know who you are. So stop. They're just coming to you because they believe you can solve a problem. So
if you wanted
their hair's too long, you can make it shorter.
Right. And if you really want it to be about your art, then to me, it's exactly what we're talking about. The art is the total, complete hair experience from the second they step into your salon space, salon suite, salon, whatever the fuck you call where you do your hair, to the second that they check out and leave. That, if you can make that this amazing, wonderful experience for the client, then call it an art, because not many people are doing that. Then yes, you're a true artist because you're literally making them feel fantastic about every single thing you're doing. Then go ahead.
Yeah, I think saying to somebody, what are we doing today? And then thinking that your formulation is just like a secret sauce or something.
Yeah, most people can formulate. And if you can't, you should know who you can go to do that for you.
I want to talk about the customer journey first, because this is all focused on the customer, right? The client. Everything that happens, every interaction your client or potential client has with your business should be thought out. Where we make mistakes is when we start thinking like, I'll just have online booking and then not worry about it. People want to set it and forget it because you're lazy, but you can't do that.
Correct.
You have to check that stuff. What does this look like? What are you seeing? How does it feel? Does it even align with my fucking brand? Because honestly, some stuff doesn't. I've looked at people's websites and thought, what the hell is happening? This does not look like their business. It's not aligned. It's not the same. Your client journey, like exactly each step, like how your customer engages with you should be thought out. I said that already. So what you can do for this is to make a list of each like way that your client can touch your business. So what are the things? Just let's list them out. So people can online book. There's one. People can walk in physically. People can call on the phone.
Yes.
People can email. People can, what else? That's it in my notes.
For some people, you could text or message, DMs, like that kind of thing.
Message.
Yeah.
Text. I'll add these now. So what does that look like? I don't know. You'll have to walk through it. So when somebody calls on the phone, so if you have a team, this is a great thing to do. Have someone call on the phone and book an appointment and have them record or write down what they're going through, almost like a secret shopper. When somebody books online, like I said, go through the steps. When's the last time you booked yourself an appointment through your Salon software?
How easy is it? What does it look like?
Is there any hiccups? Yeah. Sometimes we catch stuff and they're like, oh, an update turned that setting off. And we're like, well, it shouldn't have.
Right.
So, but now we know it's not a huge deal. Just if you don't do this stuff, you don't stay on top of it, you're going to have more issues because we do stay on top of it and we still have issues.
Yes.
Because salon softwares are not perfect.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Nothing's perfect. But you've got to stay on top of it.
You have to manage it.
When somebody calls on the phone, how are they greeted? It should be similar. I don't care if it's the same. I say hello hair because saying hello hair, like it's
Right.
a little redundant, but hello hair. How can I help you?
Yep.
That's it. I like simple. If your business, if you want to create some spiel where you're talking about all this stuff, go for it. Just make sure that it's consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure all of your staff or all of your team or whatever is doing it, or make sure you do it every time. I
don't know how I answer the phone. Now I need to think about this.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Tomorrow I'll figure it out.
Yeah. So anyways, it's just important to acknowledge this stuff. So action step. I want to start providing action steps more for people. So if you're like, well, how would I start? Map one of your client experiences, one client journey. You don't have to do them all, but just get a feel for, so grab a pen and paper and log into your software as a client, as a new client. What do you see? You come to the home screen, make any notes that you want. What information do you have to put in?
This is really important because I do see, as most people, I think, get a lot of information off social media. So you'll see like a lot of influencers be like, you should have a credit card. You need to have them fill out this form. If you're doing all that stuff, I exactly what you just said, go through it as a new client.
That's all friction.
Do you get frustrated having all these steps? Well, then imagine how many clients get to like step 2 and they're like, never mind, this is too much work. If you're like, this works seamlessly for me, I would be fine. Then you're going to attract people like you, and that's totally cool. But if you're, making all of these little steps, make sure that as you go through them, they are easy to navigate.
I couldn't agree more. It's so important to eliminate friction. If there's friction, I don't want it.
Agreed.
I clicked on something on Instagram and it was like, you can download this thing. And I forget what it was, but it was something to do with podcasts. And I was like, oh, that could be interesting. I'll read it. It was an article or whatever. And they were like, fill in your name, fill in this. And I got to the 3rd step and I was like, why am I giving you all this stuff?
Right.
Either give me the information, and if it's worthy of me coming back to your website, then I will. Or don't provide the information.
Right.
But I'm not going to jump through hoops for you. And it wasn't anything crazy.
Right.
So think about it. Like, if you're like, I need a credit card, I need this because I have cancellations. Well, those are separate issues.
Right. And if that's how you want to set that up, that's fine. But work, like you just said, go through, what does that look like? A client having to give all this information. And if you went to a business and they asked you for all that, how would you feel? I don't know. First time client it just depends, I guess.
Yeah, it totally depends. And I wish we had someone live that could give us like an example right now and we could work through it. It would be fun.
But definitely, I think you have to, especially with that, go through it all and make sure it is somewhat easy, or you're going to be missing out.
All right. Pre-appointment engagement. So let's think about some strategies that you can add to your business that will, basically it's getting people excited. Yeah. You want to get people excited. You want to get them prepared. Excitement is contagious.
Absolutely.
If you're texting somebody or emailing, whatever your system has for you, and if you don't have a system, hit pause, go get a download, go get a software, and then hit play and come back. But like, what can you do? I don't know. Maybe it's just a personalized appointment reminder. Like, make sure it's personalized. Make sure it has their name. Hey, Jenny, I'll see you tomorrow. Really looking forward to it.
Yep.
I would be like, whoa, that's not just like hit 1 to confirm.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a special promotion. Hey, just so you know, we have this going on during your appointment. Let us know if you'd like to add that. Whatever. It's interacting with people.
Yes.
Just remember to make it easy. Maybe it's a tip. Maybe it's like, hey, Jenny, saw you have an appointment coming up. It's cold out now in New England. Everyone's been asking this. Here's what you can do.
Right.
Whatever. Or click here to learn more if you don't want to send a huge text or an email or whatever. Maybe it's tips for getting prepared.
I mean, now is honestly, it's almost October, depending on when you're listening to it. But when we're recording, it's almost October. So it is an extremely easy time of the year to get people excited. So if you think about what we have coming up, like you have Thanksgiving and Christmas, and this is a great time. I was thinking
football, but yeah, here we go.
Well, yeah, there's that too. This is a great time, and I go through this with my client. all of them have their next 2 or 3 appointments because of where does your next one fall? Do you want to be in before Thanksgiving or after? And then do you want to be in before Christmas or after? But you could include that in your outgoing texts and emails. Like, it's only so many weeks till Thanksgiving. Make sure you pre-book whatever. Like, you can include that. Like, oh, I'm not even thinking of that. Shoot, I have a Christmas party coming up. I need to get out on this day. And it's a friendly reminder, and it will get them excited, and they'll be thinking about that rather than missing you and not being able to get that appointment, or you're working extra because that's how it tends to happen around the holidays. You're trying to get those loyal clients that are good at that pre-booking to click on that and do that to help you too. And it helps them.
What if you did something like a pre-appointment checklist for clients?
Yeah.
And you popped it on your website, and then all you did was you texted that out to your clients.
Yeah, great idea.
With their confirmations, or a week before their confirmation. The more touch points, the better.
Yeah.
If this is even better, if you're somebody that finds you have a lot of cancellations, last minute cancellations, you can go ahead and passively aggressively post on social media if you'd like about how, people are taking money
but you
from
absolutely
you
can.
And whatever, and all this stuff and the costs. Or you could actually try to solve the problem and engage your clients. So the more touch points you have, the more likely they're going to let you know if they can't make it.
Right.
Further out. Right. And there you go. So let's talk about an action step. Why don't you create a list of FAQs? So frequently asked questions that you wish clients knew before they arrived. So is it okay to show up with dirty hair, or do they need to have clean hair? Should they avoid using products on the day they're visiting you? Stuff like that.
These are great.
If you create an FAQ like that, again, plop it on your website. I'm not even saying do that for this action step. I'm saying just create the list. You don't even have to do anything. Just create the list and get your brain working. Get your brain in that sort of analytical mode.
Yep. And it levels you up as a professional.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of which, let's create a welcome ambiance, a welcome atmosphere.
Okay.
A welcoming vibe.
At our salon, it starts with the smell.
Yeah. So your salon's physical environment, cleanliness, decor, all that stuff, that should match your website. It should match your online vibe.
Yeah.
It should match your social media. All that stuff needs to have a flow.
You probably need to declutter.
That's your branding. Yeah. A lot of salons have just tchotchkes everywhere.
Like
just stuff.
Too much.
I actually, what's funny? I had like a fake guru criticize our salon, and they were like, it's like stagnant. It's like a hospital or something, and it's masculine. And I was like, okay, fake guru, you're not my target audience.
Yeah.
Go away.
Buzz off.
That's funny because
nobody asked.
Yeah, I didn't ask. They just reached out and was like, here's what I think. And I was like, I don't care. Make new clients feel welcome. Again, we talked about the client journey. What happens when clients initially reach out to your business? Think about that continuing. What happens when they are coming in, they have an appointment, or they've booked their appointment, and now they're a client. They're a current client, and they're walking in. If they're new, take a minute and give them a tour.
Right.
Show them around. Show them where the bathrooms are.
Absolutely.
Walking in to get your hair done as a woman, if it's new, you're getting a color or getting a big cut, that can be nerve-wracking.
Oh, yeah.
So why are we not making people more comfortable?
Agreed.
As
or
an industry.
A guy walking into a salon for a haircut, it's all women getting their hair done. Like, that's not comfortable. And you're like, oh, okay. Here I am.
When the salon's not super feminine, it works, right?
True story.
Yeah. It's as if we didn't think of that. Thanks, guru. Fake guru. So, show them. What about other services? So, for example, I have men come in. They're not getting their lashes done. They don't care. Right. But guess what? I still show them where we do lashes. If Emily was in, I would introduce them if it's not interfering with, her work. And you might think that's a waste of time. No, that guy has women in his life. He has daughters. He has neighbors. He has a wife or a girlfriend or whoever, maybe both. I don't know. I don't judge. And they mentioned something, and now he can say, oh, well, I went there. It was super clean. I actually met the girl that did it. She seemed nice. You should try it. Like, you never know. So take that time.
Agreed. You
talked about aromatherapy. So we have diffusers going and little fun things like that. And you can go on.
And I love it because You had a client recently come in. He's like, it always smells so good in here.
Oh, yeah.
Which is nice because, we are performing chemicals and things like that. But the fact that people say it smells nice in there, like your memory is created around smells. So that's like a very good thing.
So you can go on, just search online. You can find places. I think there's one called Piping Rock.
Yep.
You can get essential oils. We probably have, I don't know, 30 to 40.
Oh, yeah.
At least different essential oils.
Yep.
And then we have, I think they're called accounts. It's for making fragrances. And you can mix these. They're a lot stronger. And we've used them in the past for like steam towels and things like that. We
put an aroma on our hot towels also.
You can blend and make a custom scent. You get a carrier oil, something like is it jojoba?
I think so.
Oil, something neutral like that. And then you can add the scented oils to that. And it sort of, I guess, makes it the appropriate concentration.
Yeah.
So there was a formula that I had online that I found online, and then I just scaled it and created it for us. But music, what's the vibe in there? In the afternoon, we tend to have more upbeat music.
Right.
Because that's what people are into. In the morning, it's softer. People don't want to walk in and hear Sandman from Metallica. But when it plays in the afternoon, they're kind of vibing to it. If it comes on, it comes on. What about some comfortable seating? We have seating that's pretty comfy, and we let people move it around. If somebody comes in and they're there with their daughter, or their daughter's there with them, I could slide a chair right over.
Yeah.
We had somebody walk in the other day and they were like, they said sit here. And I was like, no. I don't know who said that. They didn't mean it. You sit wherever you want. You have fun. Let's go. And they were like, really? I'm like, yeah, just sit in wherever you want, but just make it fun. You could set up a selfie area if you wanted to. I've been in salons that have that. It's pretty cool. You could have rotating, you can get relatively inexpensive backdrops online with different sort of paper filters that you can drop down if you wanted different colors. I'm sure you could get your logo branded on them, whatever. Like there's so many different things. Here's an action step for you to help with your salon's atmosphere. So take a chair and sit somewhere in your salon that you never have and just watch for a few minutes. What do you see? Observe. How are people moving past? Is there enough room?
This is a good
like,
one.
what are your views? What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you smelling? And then just observe, make notes, and then think about any upgrades or changes that you can make to positively impact that. Maybe you sit somewhere and you're like, I can't smell that aroma diffuser over here, but in this spot, it's too strong.
Right.
So maybe you need to balance that, whatever. Right.
That's a good one.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Let's talk about, I'm going to kind of, I think, defer to you on this one.
Okay.
I can help, of course, but let's talk about consultations, and let's talk about personalized consultations.
Yes.
Like, it's cool to think you give good consultations, but the majority of the places I've been, even when we've gone in for classes and afterwards, like people have clients coming in, it's always the same thing. It's always, I would say 95% of the time, it's, what are we doing today? And then that's it.
Right. I think first off, you can easily switch that, like what brought you in, because I find a lot of times when you say it that way, they're like, well, I booked for a haircut, but I really wish I'd booked for foils. Do you have time today? And you can be, oh, hold on, maybe I do. So like the what brought you in, and the what brought you in could even be like, oh my God, I saw your website and it was really cool. Like you have no idea what you're going to get out of that. And it's a neat kind of just open-ended question.
I always ask that.
Yeah. That
How'd you find us? Yeah.
That just kind of, it's like an icebreaker, right? It doesn't have to go right into like, what are we doing today? Like what brought you in, and it could be a referral. It could be, oh my God, I saw you guys on Instagram, or someone referred you. I get this a lot on a mom's page, and I'm like, oh, cool. Like we're not even talking hair yet. Like we're just talking. I'm just getting to know you a little bit, which I feel right away starts to create a relationship, which then right away starts to bring the anxiety of this first visit down, what brought you in today? And sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I'm in there. Like, I didn't even get dressed up. Like, you guys all look so nice. And I'm like, oh, it's fine. You don't have to dress up to come in. It's just it allows the client to like just release whatever they need to tell you, which then sets you up where you can have a great consultation and hone in on what are we doing today, right?
Yeah.
I think the other thing in a consultation that I find nobody ever does is when we're talking haircutting, and they're like, how much do you want to take off? And so they say an inch. Well, an inch to you, an inch to them, an inch to everybody in this world is very different inches. Don't care. So it's really important, I think, to show them what an inch is to you, or let them show you. However you like to do that. You like to take control, go nuts. You like them to take control, let them show you. But that really helps bring a visual to the client consultation and really starts to build the trust.
Yeah, the other day I had that happen. So I had a guy that came in, new client, and he was like, I usually go finger length on the top. And I said, sure, here's what that means to me. Mm-hmm. Here's what you're telling me in my head.
Yes.
And I grabbed his hair right in the front and put my fingers together, mm-hmm. and I pointed. I didn't even have the scissors in my hand at this point, just with the comb. And I said, that you said finger length. And he said, whoa, not that short. Yeah. And I said, exactly. So this is not that I knew that ahead of time, but that's why we continue to follow up and not just take him at his word, because
people use words and they don't mean the same thing.
Yeah. And another barber, maybe that cut his hair, he said finger length and they did, it was off of the head. I don't know what was done in the past. I mean,
I always use the term like when someone's like, I want it over the ear. Well, that could mean you want your ear completely exposed or you want it completely covered.
Yeah, exactly.
So
right.
It's another point in a consultation that's just like, okay, hold on. Like, what does that mean to you? And there's not, when someone comes in and even says a bob, okay, what is a bob to you? Because we automatically like think of what it looks like in our head, but that does not mean that same vision is in that client's head. So it's very important for them to start to discuss what that means to them.
Yeah, I can't stress this enough. And it was something I learned almost all of this from you, to be honest.
Thanks.
It just how to consult with people and how to continue that just going on. Mm-hmm. Just continue that conversation a little longer than you think.
Yes.
Ask about products. Do they use product? Because not that you want to hide your haircut with product, but it does make some stuff easier. If somebody comes in and they want a mohawk, well, it might not stick up unless I put product in it. So certain things, whatever, just keep digging. I want to touch on this though. So you mentioned asking people how they found us and going through some open-ended questions and what does an inch mean to you? What if this is and I'm kind of putting you on the spot here. Mm-hmm. What if this is one of your loyal clients? What if this is someone you've seen 200 times already and you know what an inch is? How can you maintain that? How can you avoid becoming complacent? Because it's so easy to be like, hey, Sally, same as last time, right?
Right. So what I ask every single time.
That's just, I'm going to just be blunt. That's laziness.
Yeah.
Because you're not delivering an excellent experience across the board. It's only to new clients. You know what I mean?
I agree. And I think it is harder to give that same experience when you've done it 50 million times. So what I've started to do, or I do, and here's the other thing. After a while, when you have a long-term relationship, it can be harder for them to make a complaint because now they know you and they don't want to hurt your feelings, right? So I will now say, how was the haircut last time? And I have sometimes where I have a client I cut recently and I was like, I think I cut that too short. And so when they came back in, like, how was the haircut last time? Like, it was totally fine. I'm like, are you sure it wasn't too short? Because I thought maybe I might have gone a little too short last time. And whatever the answer is, like, yeah, actually it was a little too short. Or, nope, I actually really liked it. But I don't mind asking that. Or what I'll say to them is like, how was the haircut last time? And like, it's totally fine. I'm like, give it to me. What are we liking? What are we not liking? Like, I'm pulling it out. Like, do we need to change the front? Do you want to do this? Like, I'm giving them suggestions because I don't want to do the same thing. Or right now, like I'm seeing trending is like, the bangs are coming back and just a lot of like angles in the front. So they, might be like, oh, you can do the same thing. And I'm like, well, what if we did change it up? Let me just, and I'll put my scissors down. I'll grab my comb. Like, what if we just switched up the front and we'd like kind of moved this way? And we don't have to, but just think about it. Like I give them an option to change it. And if they're like, I really liked what you did last time. Okay, cool. But I want to suggest something. And that keeps it fun for me. Right?
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's more difficult with regular clients that you see, like for me, I have clients that I see every 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's not always easy. And a lot of them are coming in on their lunch break or whatever, and they don't have an opinion. They want me to do it, but I still want them to feel heard.
Right.
So I'll ask questions. More recently, I've been saying like, if you could change anything about your hair, what would it be? Because maybe there's something we can try, or maybe there's something new that came up, or Maybe they want to switch their style up, but they don't think that's a possibility.
Yep.
Or something did I say don't like?
Mm-hmm.
Which you can change.
Yep.
Uh,
And it's important to ask that because it does open it up. If they're nervous to say that, you're allowing that. So like over time, if they don't say anything, you've opened up the floor for them to say something. Then that's on them.
Definitely. And I'll ask them too if they were happy with it. If it was like you had mentioned, was it too short, too long, whatever. Yeah, just try to, I guess, make people feel heard.
Yes. Or try to encourage engagement.
Yeah.
Right? That's really important.
There's nothing that bugs me more. And our salon's not perfect. It happens. You have a friend come in and you, for some reason, think you can just be like, same as last time, or we're just going a little lighter, right? You hear stuff like that and you're like, don't do that. Mm. And it's not.
And don't do it as you're walking away from the client. That's not consulting.
Yeah, I'm going to mix. I already know what I'm doing.
That.
I'm going to mix. I'm walking past you. They don't even know what chair you're using.
Seriously.
All right. So you know who you are if you're listening. I'm just kidding. No, I think it's important to touch on it because it is difficult when you have those regular clients to give them that same experience as if they were a first-time client that you're trying to impress.
Absolutely.
Just treat it like a first date every time.
Absolutely.
And they'll keep coming back. Go in the extra mile. Virtuosity, I guess, is what we're talking about. Do the common things and commonly well. I guess like consultation, right?
Yeah.
Consultation's common. It's uncommon that people do it well.
Agreed.
And of course, that's my opinion, but I'm basing that on
what you see and hear and
in years of research in other industries and stuff too. I'm not just guessing, right? What about surprise and delight? You can just go the extra mile. Maybe I don't know, maybe it's a random, you're just feeling good and you have some products to give away and you just hand somebody something. I gave it was actually a new client. He was talking about, I need to figure out a way to clip my hair up when I wash my face because his hair was so long.
I remember this.
I grabbed a clip and handed it to him. And he was like, no, I can't take this. And I was like, it's a clip, man. Just have it. And he was so excited. I think he left it in a review. Todd
cute.
even gave me a clip.
I love that.
He's like, I can't, it's my first visit. Maybe when I come back. And I was like, no, it's a clip. I want you to take it. And if it doesn't work, pass it on or give it to someone else. I don't know. I
think also what you can do, I can't stand that this happens, but it does. Reps for different companies will just pop their head in and like leave random stupid products. And it's not something that I enjoy because it's an appointment-based business, but it happens. But here's how I turn that around. These people leave these stupid products. Cool. If they're anything that I might actually entertain that like align with our business. And recently one product did. So as much as I'm annoyed that they just dropped it off, I'm like, well, let's make it fun. So now some of those clients are like, hey, my rep dropped off this new product. I don't know how I feel about it. Let's use it on you today. And they're like, you got something new? I'm like, maybe we'll be here, maybe not. Like, let me try it out. Will you give me some feedback? And they feel like part of the experience. Like, this is cool. I'm like, love it, hate it. Just let me know. And here we are.
Surprise and delight.
Yes. Like, so that's a way that now, like when I get all these things dropped off, I can at least make it like fun and exciting.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're a rep that just heard that, please
just make an appointment.
Ignore Jen. No, don't ignore.
Just make an appointment. Like you just don't show up. That's
the last people that stopped in were, it was so funny. They were talking to our team and I was standing on one side and they kept asking questions and I kept answering. And finally they turned and they were like, I'm sorry, are you involved in the business? And I was like, a little bit. And then they figured out who I was and it was actually pretty funny. And they were great people.
They're all great people.
I enjoyed meeting them, but I was like in the middle. I was working on my laptop. I was in the middle of like not where my brain was not in product mode at the time.
Well, I'm usually with a client and they try to like interrupt. And I'm like, this person's paying. Like you need to make an appointment just like they did. Do not interrupt me. It's a pet peeve of mine.
It is of mine too. Little things. So I think that taking somebody's coat and hanging it for them is superior than saying, oh, no one's using that chair. You can just throw it there. Like show a little class.
I just got us all new hangers so that we have enough for all the coats.
Oh, is that where those hangers went?
Yep.
Cool.
For this exact reason. I'm like, we're coming into a colder season, so I want to make sure everybody can hang up their stuff and they have
people in the mornings have been having sweatshirts and things like that. So it clicked in my head the other day and it's a little thing that people get excited about. They don't have to worry about it. Even when I have guys come in, if they have glasses or hats, I take it for them. I'm not like throw it wherever you want. If their like hand is already almost on the station and they're putting their glass, like I have an older guy, he's in his 80s, or he just turned 80, I think. Happy birthday, buddy. If their hand is already there, I'm like totally fine. But I try to take it from them. That's an interaction.
Yeah.
That's a touch point. That's something that clients remember. And
I just had a great idea, and I'm going to share it because I'm going to do it for our salon. So if you are in a salon that's fairly large and we have a pretty big staff, it's very easy when this happens in the wintertime.
Hold on. If you're a salon or we are, I think you changed your tenses or something there and it confused me.
So we are a salon so we have like 8 to 10 workers at a time, right? So
yeah. Okay.
So here's where I'm going with this. And I just thought of this because
workers
a couple years ago, I had a client leave with the wrong coat. And she didn't realize it, but she had someone's keys in her coat. So she gets home and then realizes it's the wrong coat, and it's this big fiasco, right? And this probably happens more often than you think, right?
It's a caper.
So of course she has to come back to bring the coat and all that. But anyway, what just popped in my head, and I'm going to do this, I think I have stuff here today, is what you could easily do, and this just ups the client experience, and this helps anyone who takes a coat, is on your hangers, have the name of your staff. So like we have Gab, Todd, Jen. So when you go to hang up that client's coat, it goes on the stylist they're with. So whoever goes to grab that coat when that person leaves, they know whose it is. Because what happens now is, like, what coat was yours? The blue, the black, and I bring out 3 coats. Like, and it's just like I'm touching someone else's property, and they're like, wait, that's my coat. And it becomes this stress. So there's a way now you can come into, we talked about customer journey, salon ambiance, like going the extra mile and just making little hangers of like chalkboard type little things on the hangers so no one's coat gets lost.
There you go.
I'm going to do that.
Free
I'm
idea for you
proud.
out there listening. And you might think that's silly, but guess what?
I just got inspired.
It's not silly to the person that had to wait for their keys to come back.
Yes. Yeah. And we're coming into the season. So just a great way to make sure everyone's coat is safe.
One of the things that I always do, and I learned this actually from, I'll call it an acquaintance, a friend that is a barber, is to engage with your client before you even cape them.
Yes.
So I'm not even talking about the consultation, but hello.
What's up?
How's
it
your
going?
kids?
Yeah.
How's the dog? How's your wife? Tell her I said hello.
Yeah.
Like, cause stuff
Make
like
them
that.
feel like you give a shit.
A minute or two of that before there's no cape, there's no comb, there's no nothing.
Agreed.
I'm not figuring anything out. I'm not pre-formulating anything. I'm not strategizing about anything. I'm just giving that person 1 or 2 to 3 to 5, whatever minutes of my time. And it's, again, that's something that we account for in our culture.
Yeah.
Is that extra time with the clients. And of course, with that comes a premium. So we're not the cheapest salon in the area. We're not the cheapest barbershop in the area, but we're also not the in and out shop. If you want that, I
can be provided.
I have clients that have come in and they're like, Todd, I'm in a rush today. Say no more. Cape. We can do a quick consultation because I know you're in a rush and today's not the day to figure out a new hairstyle for you. You know what I mean? And I give you a cut that is presentable and I get you on your way. That's what they're paying for in that circumstance. Correct. So that's what I give them. All right. So action step. Here's one that Jen is going to love, but get a service at another business.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Doesn't even need to be a salon. It can be anything.
Yep. We take stuff from restaurants, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, go to a new lunch spot that you've never been to and take out your phone and sit at the bar or sit at a table. Sit where you normally wouldn't sit, maybe.
Yep. And
note the experience. Is it good? Is it bad? What did the customer journey look like?
Right.
You walked in, were you greeted? We've all been to restaurants where you stand there for 10 minutes before anyone acknowledges your presence and you see everyone looking at you.
I hate that.
That's annoying.
Even just acknowledge a second. Just like, I'll be right with you. Okay, I know that someone's aware of my presence.
Yeah. And then think about it. Like, what stood out? What should be improved? What blew you away? What can you learn? What can you implement? You can implement stuff from any industry, any business into hair. Yes. Hair is not unique. The only thing unique about hair is the hair.
Right.
The business stuff is all the same.
Yeah.
How you treat people is all the same. Now, you could take a huge company. You could take, I don't know, Walmart, whatever, Target, whatever. If you treat people poorly, they're not going to go there. Just like if you treat people poorly, they're not going to come to you.
Right.
It's the same. It's not that complicated. You just have to really kind of open your eyes. Last thing here was the post-visit follow-up or post-visit engagement. So this is something that your software might be able to do for you, where it sends a text immediately or the next day or within a few hours or whatever, however you'd like to see it. And it asks for feedback, or it just simply says it was a treat to see you today.
Right.
Thanks for coming in. Thanks so much. Whatever. It can be anything. Sometimes I'll go through our software and reach out to people that were happy and just send them an email. Hey, you were in last week. You saw Gab. You said she did a great job and you really liked her. Thanks so much for the feedback. We really appreciate it. And sometimes people write back and they're like, wow, thanks for reaching out. And it's just like
a little touch.
A little touch. That's all.
That goes a long way.
Yeah. You can request reviews. You can address concerns. You can you can prompt people to book if they haven't rebooked. You can segment your audiences. I don't want to get technical in this podcast. So action step for this, create a system. You don't even have to launch it. Just create a system that sends thank you notes or gathers some sort of feedback after appointments. Just write it out. You can write it online. You can write it in a notebook or write it on your, phone or whatever. Like, client leaves, 24 hours later, they receive a text. The text says this,
right? Directs
them to do this, period. Write
and
that down.
Consistent.
And just kind of come up with an idea. Brainstorm.
Love it.
All right. Thanks for listening. You have anything else?
No.
All right. Let's wrap up. Sorry we ran a little late on that one.
Enjoy my hangers.
Enjoy my hangers. All right. Happy Monday. Bye.